So the Los Angeles Lakers finally concluded the NBA in-season tournament with their win the other day with the Indiana Pacers, and really the only question I have right now is how successful was this? Hello everybody, welcome to Oscar Rusty Buckcase. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already and drop a like on this video. It only takes 1 second and it makes a massive difference on how the video performs in the YouTube algorithm. Two things up top I just want to throw in here. Podcast tomorrow, please be sure to show up for that. That one will be fun. And then also on top of that, I'm going to talk about a few things in response to my previous two main channel videos. And I guess a third thing, sorry for no videos over here. That will not happen again, presumably. We'll see. Anyways, on with the actual topic at hand, I wanted to look at the in-season tournament, and if I call it the play-in tournament at any point in this video, my apologies. For some reason, that's just something that I keep doing because tournament. But yeah, with that said, overall, I have felt as though the games were pretty damn entertaining, and as the tournament kind of went along, it felt like teams were taking it more and more seriously. Like when it first started happening, teams were not too sure of it, and I feel like the teams that weren't that sure of it or did not care kind of got eliminated from it just by virtue of them not caring all that much. The teams that actually really stood the test of time tended to be teams that wanted it more, which is really just the worst cliche sports thing that everyone makes fun of now. But, you know, the want for the actual prize definitely seemed to influence it. Now, did I think that the only billionaire in the NBA would be one of the people who seemed to desperately care for that $500,000? I didn't see that coming, but it did ultimately make a big difference. I think it's a big reason why the Indiana Pacers were so prominent in this, especially because I felt like Indiana as a team, and I think even Tyrese Halliburton said this in an interview with Paul George, that like because their aspirations were not quite championship level, this kind of allowed them to be a team that competes for some sort of award. And I do think that was definitely a big success. Like the fact that we got a Lakers, which is, you know, the Lakers, but also versus the Pacers type of matchup. You know, you're not going to get that in a different matchup, certainly not in the NBA playoffs, unless the Indiana Pacers are going to shock everybody, and the Lakers to a degree probably as well.
It's funny because it's like everybody says this has like the NCAA tournament feel, but after a game like that and you're sitting in the locker room, you're like, damn, like, motherfuckers ain't graduating, you know what I mean? We play on Monday, so yeah, it's definitely frustrating.
To talk about that actual game specifically, awesome AD performance. LeBron James was also very good. LeBron, this game and in that Pelicans game, moved better than I have seen him move in years, and it was really off-putting. There was one drive specifically in the Pacers game where he was a freight train. Not to comment too much on LeBron, but like obviously you just have to say it's ridiculous that he's doing what he's doing at this age. I know it's a cliche to bring it up all the time, but it's being brought up all the time because it is indeed fucking ridiculous. But the game was good. The Pelicans game was not great because it was a blowout. I don't remember what happened in the Pacers. It was Pacers and Bucks game, right? I don't remember what exactly happened in that one. I remember it being solid, but I could be wrong. Either way, those are the games that stood out because they were the games in Vegas, and I will say the games being in Vegas did kind of make it feel like they dropped the ball a little bit, specifically in that first Pacers round, when there was no level of fan base in the crowd. Like there were fans there for the Lakers because Los Angeles is obviously very close to Las Vegas. A lot of people from Los Angeles live in Las Vegas. I don't know why anyone would ever choose to live in Las Vegas because it's an absolute hellscape that I go to every single year because of the Summer League. But either way, there was somewhat of a fan getting hyped up over plays type beat with the Lakers games, but that was it because they had that kind of home field advantage. But otherwise, the environment of Las Vegas, I didn't like the Las Vegas aspect of this even a little bit. I realized it was the NBA trying to kind of dip its toe in that market to see what happens. Obviously, I'm not an expert in anything related to this, but I feel like that's just not the right market for a sports team. I don't know how it's gone for other sports teams in Las Vegas, but it just seems like most of the people that are in Las Vegas are not living in Las Vegas because it's like a the quintessential like party town in the United States. People are going there on vacation. There's not a lot of actual Las Vegas residents. But, maybe you can make an argument a team would exist well based on being an attraction to visit when you come to the city, but I just don't know. So I don't know if that was a positive for the overall experience. I also don't know if the branding was much of a positive for the overall experience. I felt like the court was ugly. For the games in Vegas specifically, I did not really like most of the play-in courts. I do like trying something different, especially with the like court being like all one color instead of wood. I do think that's cool, but I just don't think they did anything too good with the concept. I felt like the trophy iconography on everything didn't look all that great. The actual trophy itself looks good, but I don't know, just the thing that was essentially like a sketch of it on the courts, I didn't think that looked good at all. And I'm somebody that really cares about aesthetic stuff, and I feel like they kind of dropped the ball in that regard. But in terms of the goal of giving you something to be excited for in the regular season, for something to be an attraction on a larger scale than any other regular season game, I think they definitely accomplished that. These games definitely were more exciting than a lot of other games. What a regular season game typically would be. And I feel like as it went along, it felt like the players bought into it a little bit more. I know there's been discussion about the rules and the point differential being a huge factor. I do think there's going to be a bunch of tweaks in that regard, but I think at the very least what we learned from this experience is that it's a good idea and there's something there. There's something to expand upon. And I do think it will become something that will be pretty big in the NBA in a couple of years when we really understand the rules and we get the atmosphere right and you have enough players who are invested in it at that point. Now that it's become a staple, the first couple of years, especially this year, they're a little bit apprehensive, not really understanding what it is. So from that point of view, I think this was already pretty good and it has a chance to be great. And the fact that it's so good, being the first time we're doing it, definitely think it has chances to pay off quite well, because that's kind of how I felt about the play-in. For a while I was a little unsure of the play-in, and then gradually the play-in games would just kick ass to the point where it's like, yeah, we definitely like this, and the play-in is definitely a positive. I think most NBA fans are pro play-in at this point, and I think we're all going to be pretty pro in-season tournament after this. Definitely had my doubts, but I think it ultimately worked out. That said, I would probably give it a B+ grade overall. B+ is a higher grade than I would have predicted to come out here. I just think there's definitely room for it to be better. I think the areas where it was not quite as good definitely took some of the fun out of everything, at least for me. But it was very much a positive, no doubt. And I'm glad that it's here, and I'm glad that it's something to talk about, and I'm looking forward to seeing it evolve and become as good as it has the potential to become. Real quick, just to end the video, I want to talk about the reaction to the last two main channel videos, both my update and kind of discussing what the last couple of years have been for me, as well as the actual video that came out. So the Power Forwards video was received super well. It's doing super well. I really appreciate all of you guys for that, especially those of you who showed up really early, made your presence felt in the algorithm, commented a bunch of nice things. Really appreciate all of that. All excellent stuff, and I feel very good about it. I feel very good about the future of this channel. A comment that we got quite a bit was that people are concerned about our ability to put an output of a video of this quality once a week. I do think once a week will probably be the ambitious end of things. I think what we're going to go for sure is 3 videos a month. And if it ends up having to be 10 days per video, that's a little bit more reasonable. But we also have a lot of ideas. That was another thing I saw people concerned about. We have a lot of ideas because over the past couple of years, I haven't been making these super high quality videos, but I've had the ideas for them and just wrote them down somewhere never to be touched. So I probably have 30 or 40 ideas already to cover the next few years. on top of whatever new ones we come up with. I already came up with like 3 different video ideas since publishing the Power Forwards one, because there's a lot of angles that you can explore rather deeply that people do not dive into that I'm looking forward to diving into. So there is that, but also this last video we got out, we did all the work for this for the most part in a week, just kind of to put to the test our ability to do it. We launched with the intention of just kind of starting and seeing what we can do in the time we can, and there was more crunch, and that's why ultimately there were not a lot of second channel videos during that week. That's something we need to adjust for, but I'm rather confident we can maintain that. And also I just want to say one small thing about the reception to the update video. I appreciate all your comments, all your support, and all of that. I will just say, like, I don't want like a wave of sympathy. That's not what I was looking for. I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate that you're happy that I'm good, but I don't want it to be like people are talking to me like they're on eggshells because like I'm a depression monster. Like, I still want you guys to interact with me the same way that you normally would. Don't let that new information change anything. That's all that I wanted to say. But ultimately, I'm very grateful and so excited for the future. On the off chance you didn't check out that Power Forwards video, really appreciate it if you would do that. Very proud of it and very happy with the response. And that's it. Shout out to Rudy for editing this video, and goodbye.